Dale again. So how do we move out of thinking into what would be called, what Krishnamurti was calling insight, which is in the moment and new and fresh and perfect and always lifts you into a new experience. So there seems like a couple ways for me that I look at like how I do it. And the one is very difficult, like this morning even, or yesterday, I was not doing well emotionally, and I was just feeling like, and I'm lately the past few months I've just been really deep in this feeling like I'm in a cloud, like I'm numb, and sometimes, and people say, well, that's about grief because your partner died, and some of that's true, but that's not all of it. No, not at all. I'm dying to myself. This is something I've always been willing and committed to, and my partner and the life that she worked with me for, and all my life has led to this point. So now I have the opportunity, I can see it, to let go of myself, to actually, in other words, stop doing, stop trusting in doing, stop trusting in anything that the world seems to say that I need to do, and work in the moment. And just, does that mean I don't do things in the world? No, but I do them in the moment, or I don't do them. I either do them in the moment and, working towards whatever is being guided to me, or I don't do them. I set them aside, because a lot of times what happens is even the things that say, well, you have to take care of that because that's going to be a problem. And I ask myself, and I say, do I have the desire and the juice and the energy to, or even the desire to do anything with that right now? And spirit, and I go, no. And my ego's on my side now. It doesn't say, well, you better, because bad things are happening. It's like my ego says, well, that's hanging out there, and you still have some attachment to it. Yeah, I know I do. But I also know it's, the big thing is I'm not going to do anything about it. You know that, and I know that. And we're just going to see what happens. And things change. They change. And that's really I'm not the only person on this. Some of you who are listening to this are going through something like this. It's learning how to see what's, really to live in a friendly universe is to make your commitment to that friendly universe. And that means a commitment away from the hostile one. That means at some point, and the only way I've been able to do that was because I ran out of juice. Like Eckhart Tolle, something happened that I couldn't not face anymore. And I looked and I said, can I do anything about this? And I went, no, I can't. And then my ego eventually got on board and said, after a while, after screaming at me for a long time and realizing I was trying to fake it till you made it, I just couldn't do anything about it. And spirit says, and the ego says, you can't, comes up to me in light and says, you can't do anything about this, can you? And I go, no, I can't. And then of course it goes, oh God, what's going to happen to us? And I go, well, we'll be okay. You'll see, we'll be all right. But it's different. And I can't give you a picture of what it's going to look like, but you'll be seeing along the way that it works. And my ego has been educated by seeing that, how it works. And when I'm in those dark places, which now there's a lot of dark, and I'm not going to hide from that. There's a lot of darkness coming into the light, because there's a death, it's a grief of my partner, yeah. But it's also grief of my life in this world, grief of who I thought I was and what this world was about, and could I in some way, even with God's help, in a good workshop and some new changes in thinking or whatever, could I tweak it so that the world would work better for me? And no, because the world works perfectly for me. I just don't see it sometimes. I don't see it. In other words, I don't see the whole. I am the whole. And when I see from the whole, from presence, everything makes perfect sense, and there's nothing to be afraid of, and everything to be joyous about. But when I'm by myself, I'm really not by myself, but when I'm working on that, coming out of that, I can, especially in the mornings, I can feel like, gosh, what's going on here? And it's not like but my thinking, I can't go to my reflective thinking, because that's hostile. I can't go in there and say, what do I do about this? No, it's all wait stuff. It's all wait and see stuff. It's like, oh boy, I don't know. My head might say something, everything from maybe I'll commit suicide to this, the do. And it's like going, and inside my ego's going in the same way. It's going like, that's not happening. I go, I know. I just thought I'd throw one little more pity party out there. I just, because I don't, and then it breaks. When it breaks, I go, oh my God, like this morning when it broke, I was going to do these videos last night, and I was going, I can't even go near a video, right? How can I tell somebody how to, and I probably should have, because the video could be how you struggle when you know you are in the light, but you just don't feel like it, and you can't see it, and you feel blind. And that's part of awakening, that's part of awakening. So just let you know, if you're looking at me as some sort of guru or something like that, be careful, because I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's just all sweetness and light. Individually, it's not. It's at least at this point, it's incredibly beautiful when it's beautiful and freeing, and I'm right as rain, and I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. But when I'm not feeling that, man, it's like grieving the end of the world. It really is. Okay, next one.